What's up, guys? The Snowman here. More tennis fun planned for today with my top 10 greatest men's clay court players of all time. I'm going through all the different surfaces, so please check out my grass and hard court rankings too if you're interested. But obviously with clay, one man kind of sticks out from above the rest, but just how much better is he than everyone else? And what about spots 2 through 10? These are my top 10 male clay court players in the history of the sport. Let's kick it off with the Austrian Thomas Muster at number 10. Only man from his country alongside Dominic Thiem to win a major title. Muster, the 1995 French Open champ. He barely makes my top 10 thanks mostly to quantity over quality. 40 overall titles on clay. That's the third most of any player behind only Vilas and Nadal. However, 29 of those were on the smaller 250 level events. Fun record for Muster. In 1995, he won 12 total titles. That's an ATP record for a single season. 11 of those 12 titles on clay. Next at number 9, I have Gustavo Kuerten. Some would probably have him a little bit higher ranked. Three-time Roland Garros winner in 97, 2000, and 01. Guga, one of 6 men to win the French Open 3 times or more, but for me it comes in one of the weakest clay eras. Sampras and Agassi were the top seeds in those days. Kuerten's major runs just lacking the big scalps, the premier wins. In fact, his most impressive Roland Garros victory to me came in 2004 when he lost in the quarters, but earlier defeated world number 1 Roger Federer. My 8th greatest clay courter of all time is American Jimmy Connors, truly a magician on every surface, but especially tough as nails on clay. Just one clay court major, actually not at Roland Garros, that was at the US Open in 1976. Connors the only player to win the US Open on 3 different surfaces, and he earned it the hard way, beating Bjorn Borg in the final. A 2-0 record against Borg in clay slams. Unfortunately, Connors only played part-time at Roland Garros, or his resume would be closer to top 5. Guillermo Vilas is the 7th best on clay in my opinion. Some incredible clay court records for the Argentine. For starters, most career match wins on clay all time at 679, more than Nadal. That record not going to be touched for a long time. Second longest clay court win streak at 53 matches in a row. Also, Vilas, the second most overall titles on clay at 49. Only one Roland Garros trophy, but he got that in dominating fashion in 1977. Vilas dropping a single set all tournament long en route to victory that fortnight in Paris. For the 6th best clay court player ever, I have Roger Federer, just the one Roland Garros title in 2009. Of course, Robin Soderling doing the heavy lifting for Fed there. The biggest case for Federer, the fact that he made 4 other French Open finals and all 4 losses to the King of Clay and Rafa Nadal, so he could easily have 3 or 4 Roland Garros trophies. Also in the trophy cabinet for Fed, 6 Masters 1000 titles on the surface and 10 other 1000 runner-up appearances, both top 3 all time, only behind Djokovic and Nadal. Top 5 now, and I've got the Swede Mats Wilander, one of the most underrated clay court players ever, extremely clutch in the biggest moments with his 3 Roland Garros titles, 2 other finals appearances, a shocking breakthrough in 1982 when Wilander won the French Open as a 17-year-old, the 4th highest win percentage at Roland Garros, and Wilander so great against fellow top 10 players, the only player besides Nadal to have a positive record against 2,400 plus ELO rated players on clay, so in layman's terms, awesome against the world's best. Number 4 is Ivan Lendl, extremely close between he and Wilander. They both have the 3 major titles on clay with 5 finals, and they've actually met head-to-head at Roland Garros 4 times and split those meetings. Overall, though, Lendl gets the nod for me, mostly based off the edge in volume. 28 total titles on clay, 4th most ever. 6 Masters 1000 titles tied for 3rd, the 3rd highest overall win percentage on clay, and some epic wins along the way, including his maiden slam title at the 1984 French Open when he came from 2 sets down in the final versus John McEnroe. I feel very strongly about my top 3, starting with Novak Djokovic, 3 Roland Garros titles despite his career lining up at the same time as Nadal. In fact, 10 of Djokovic and Nadal's 60 head-to-head meetings came at Roland Garros, and Novak the only player who can say they defeated Rafa at the French Open more than once. second most total match wins at Roland Garros, but Djokovic's clay court success goes beyond the biggest tournament, 11 Masters 1000 titles and 8 other finals, both the second most ever, not to mention a gold medal on clay at the 2024 Paris Olympics. I don't think you'll find any rational human that disagrees with Bjorn Borg being the second best clay court player of all time, 6 French Open titles, that's twice as much as anyone not named Rafa, a perfect 6-0 in Roland Garros finals, the second highest win percentage at the French by a wide margin. Borg, 49 wins and only 2 losses at Roland Garros. Could have easily won a handful more trophies if he didn't retire at age 25. Borg won the last 4 French Opens he played in from 1978 to 1981, and probably his best clay stat, 0 sets dropped and just 32 games lost during his entire 1978 French Open triumph. That's the fewest games dropped en route to winning a Grand Slam in major history. Finally, we get to the unanimous, undisputed king of clay, Rafa Nadal. This is the easiest number 1 selection of any sports list you can possibly make. Rafa laps the field on clay in every possible way, 112-4 all-time at Roland Garros. That's a 97% winning percentage, an astronomical 14 French Open titles, more than twice as much as the next closest. Nadal 14-0 in finals in Paris. He won Roland Garros his very first time competing in 2005 as a teenager. Most overall clay court titles with 63, 26 of those Masters 1000 titles. 4 times he won Roland Garros without losing a single set. Look, there's a million other stats, but just some of the most ruthless, dominating tennis you'll see in your life. Nadal's forehand on clay, unstoppable for about 17 years. There's only one king of clay. Thank you so much for watching my top 10 men's clay court players of all time. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more sports videos, and leave a comment. Let me know what you agreed with, disagreed with about my list, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.